I may have been wrong about this game. We're talking about Assassin's Creed Syndicate today. So if you didn't know, recently I've just gone ahead and rated every mainline Assassin's Creed game. And it's safe to say Assassin's Creed Syndicate didn't really get a good rating. And the reason for that was probably because I didn't remember it too well. And there's probably a reason for that. This game came out in a time where Assassin's Creed were pumping games out like Call of Duty games. We were getting one every single year. And this being like the last traditional Assassin's Creed game before we got Assassin's Creed Origins, I was literally playing these games year in, year out, and I think when I got to this game, I just played it just for the sake of it. And just for context, I got all the achievements back on this game back in the day, so I have put a lot of hours into this. But I just can't remember it very well. Heck, people on my last video were basically saying to me, you need to go and replay this game again because it holds up. And because of this, I thought, you know what, I think now's about time I go back and actually revisit this game to see if this game was better than I remember. There will be minor spoilers for this game. I'm talking minor. So let's go through some of the story to start with. This game is the first Assassin's Creed game where you have two protagonists, that being with the Friar twins, Jacob and Evie. And I'll say I like one considerably amount more than the other one. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Jacob. He's okay, but I feel like Evie shines a lot more than him. Well, that's just my opinion. But I think the concept of the dual protagonists in this game is more interesting than it is more recent Assassin's Creed games. With more recent Assassin's Creed games, apart from Shadows, for example, Odyssey and Valhalla, they make you choose a gender, and then when you choose a gender, you feel like you're just playing a character that you've kind of made, but you haven't made. Whereas with this, you can play as either gender. And I feel like they have their own stories to tell. Rather with Valhalla and Odyssey, you have this one's the canon version, or this one has voice acted better than this, but I don't care. I don't care. I prefer this sort of thing. This game is set in 1868, which is the most modern setting for an Assassin's Creed game, and to this day it still is, which I really do appreciate about this game, because I was one of those people who always wanted to go further up to the timeline until we eventually reach the modern day, whereas with now we just kind of like go backwards and forwards with timelines, which I don't really hate. But at the time, for example, I was like, right, after this game we might actually get a war game, or you know, something along those lines, like further into the timeline to reach the modern day timeline. But this is the closest one we got to that. And essentially the story starts off with Evie and Jacob coming to London to basically try and overthrow the Templars, because London has been ruled by the Templars for so many years. This game has like two stories that kind of connect to each other. You have Evie hunting a piece of Eden, and then Jacob building up his gang and the Rooks, which we'll get into in a moment. The story on this game isn't the most memorable, and even when I'm replaying this game, I now know why I didn't remember this game as much, because the story unfortunately isn't the most memorable. It literally is essentially Evie does this thing, Jacob does this thing. You end up going after the main Templar in this game, whose name is Crawford Steric, and I don't think this guy's the most memorable guy either. For an Assassin's Creed villain, is just a guy with a mustache, and I don't really see anyone remembering this guy. Out of like all the main franchise games of all their villains, this guy is probably one of the least memorable. Essentially just a Temu version of Charles Lee from Assassin's Creed 3. But the story being, you know, mid, I want to say. This game's definitely better than I remember though. The story may be mid, but the gameplay is pretty fun, and the open world, as Ubisoft always do, is stunning. I cannot knock Ubisoft on any of their open world games being like ugly, shall I say, because this sure as hell looks beautiful. And the world on this is big, but it's not too big. There's a lot of sections in London you can go to, and the way you traverse around this world is kind of different to what we were used to on the other Assassin's Creed games before this. This time we have a horse and carriage. Yes, you can say we had a horse and carriage before, but not to like this degree. You can literally just go around plowing around like GTA on this game and just plowing through everything, destroying carts and doing whatever you want. It's very destructive. Or if you don't do that, you can basically become like an Assassin's Creed version of Batman, I want to say. Because you get like a grapple gun. And I don't remember liking this grapple gun very much, because I thought like it brought away the tradition of what Assassin's Creed was, where you need to climb a building, it takes you so long to do, and you have to get up there a certain amount of time or whatever. I'm just saying, speaking absolute nonsense at the minute. But now you can probably just grapple up Big Ben in about 2 seconds, where this probably would have took you about 30 seconds to a minute to do originally. Take that what you will. If you like this, you like this. If you don't, you don't. I don't mind it. I didn't think I liked it that much, but going back to this game and where you can literally see like a building in the horizon and you think, right, if I have to run onto the ground and go back up to that building instead, no, I can just grapple straight over to it. I'm over there in 10 seconds. It's helpful with a world being this big and I can get around it so fast. And another way you can get around this game as well, kind of, is with your base system. I say base, it's like your hideout in this game, which is really cool because your hideout is a steam train. I couldn't remember this thing. This is cool as hell. This thing just travels all the way around London, and whenever you want to fast travel to it, you can. And it's actually pretty cool what you can do inside. You can manage all your rooks and stuff inside. You can do some missions for your allies. You can even see the other protagonists sitting on the sofa if you wanted to interact with them. Or, you could just climb on the top of it and just, look how nice London is on top of a train. I really like this. Surprised we've not really had anything similar to this. What I'm also surprised we've never had in one of these games, considering, we've got a grapple gun. How the hell have we never got in one of these games like a glider? Like Breath of the Wild sort of glider, then Fortnite adapted it, and then, every other game just had this glider. I'm surprised we've not had this in like any Assassin's Creed game. Imagine the new Black Flag, you just have Edward Kenwaits climb to the top of his boat and then just pull a black flag from his ass and then just glide on down. I feel like some people would appreciate that. I'm surprised they've never done this. So the game I played before this one recently was Assassin's Creed Unity, so I've got that kind of like fresh in my memory compared to this game. And that's kind of good because this was the follow-on from Assassin's Creed Unity, and when I've been playing this, I've been thinking to myself, I don't think this game is as good as Unity, which a lot of people might agree or disagree on me with this, but I suppose it's just personal preference. For starters, the combat on this game I feel like is more lackluster than Assassin's Creed Unity. With Assassin's Creed Unity, I felt like it was your more like kind of traditional Assassin's Creed game with a spice of like that RPG element combat as well. It wasn't your full-blown Arkham counter this, that and the other, smash every button you want to, and it was kind of like a mid between two sort of combat styles. Whereas with this, when you're first playing this, you think this is kind of fun, but in the end it just feels like a bit of a button masher, to be honest. There's some cool combos or, killing scenes, shall I say, that you can do in this game, but, I feel like you can just smash the heck out of certain buttons to just kill your enemies. It's not bad. There's been other Assassin's Creed games where I prefer the combat on this game compared to that game, but, I feel like I like Assassin's Creed Unity's combat system a lot better. And speaking of Assassin's Creed Unity as well, the thing on this you can do as well is the customization. The customization on this game I feel like was a lot lackluster compared to Assassin's Creed Unity. It's very much the same, but I feel like they've just gone back slightly. For example, in Assassin's Creed Unity, you can edit bits of your armor, or outfit, shall I say. You can change what hood you want to wear, you can change what body armor you want to wear, and you can like mix and match. On this, you just have like 5 or 6 outfits, and then you can just change the color. I mean, it's cool, but I feel like you did it better in Unity. The weapons you can get on this compared to Unity, where you can upgrade and choose different weapons, is very much like Unity, but I feel like with the armor system, you could have chosen something else. For example, I don't really want to walk around with a top hat. I want to wear this outfit, but I have to wear my hood by crouching down. No, when you're not basically sneaking around, you have to wear a top hat. I don't want to wear a top hat as an assassin. I don't mind the first look where I look like a Peaky Blinder with my flat cap, but I don't really want to wear a top hat as an assassin. I don't like that idea. Evie's not too bad because she doesn't wear some silly hat on her head, but she just puts her hood down and up when she's sneaking around. That's fair enough. Probably another reason why I like playing as Evie more. But comparing the two characters, they do play kind of different. Evie is your more stealthy style, whereas Jacob is your more combat, knuckle dusters in your face sort of style. Which is cool, but they can kind of wield the same weapons, and your progression between the characters carries over. For example, if you get skills with one character, You can then get those skill points onto your other character as well. You have to switch in between both characters to then level them up in certain skills. You can have different skill trees of each character as well, so you can put something into one character and then the other thing into the other character. I do really like the progression system on this. I think they've done a good job on that. And you can even like upgrade your rooks, which we'll go into now. Your rooks are essentially, if you remember Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where it basically all started, you have like your gang members in this game. I don't really like the concept that we're all in a gang now, because it's like less assassin-esque, but you know, it's not bad. You can walk past one of these guys on the street and just say, come with me, like you could on basically Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, kind of. And they'll come and help you out in combat or in missions or whatever you want them to help you out with. And you can upgrade them as well, and you can get like different sort of guys, you know, like this guy who looks like Bronson, even though this was before even Bronson was a thing. But, you know, you have this one generic big bald dude that, you know, is just on every corner everywhere. I swear half the population in this game is this one man. Either that or, you know, it was just a time where everyone was just built like a brick house and were probably eating their greens a lot more around then. Or, you know, just eating coal. I don't know how everyone was built like this back then. Surely this isn't accurate. I mean, maybe it was. I feel like there's a lot to appreciate in this game, though, where people have probably looked past this game a lot of the time. I know some friends of mine who love Assassin's Creed, and they haven't even played this game. Or, you know, they played it for like the first 10 minutes and went, you know what, I'm putting this game down now. This game came out in a bad time, I feel like. It was basically, like I said, the last main entry in the normal Assassin's games until we got Mirage. The game we got after this game was Assassin's Creed Origins, which was the first RPG-esque sort of Assassin's Creed game, because I feel like they changed their direction because this game didn't sell well, probably because of what happened with Assassin's Creed Unity and all the bugs that had. I think this was just the time where Ubisoft was struggling, and obviously when they brought Origins out, they rectified themselves. But I feel like if you go back to this game now, you will more likely appreciate this prior to what you have done. Like I said, there's a lot of nice things in this game. For example, the world looks beautiful. You don't really realize how great this game looks until you get into like proper London. I feel like you have to get like an hour or two into this game to see how nice this world looks, because when you first start off, you're basically in like the gloomy part of London until you actually go to the main city of London, and then you get to appreciate something like this. Yeah, I did say before this game was a nice looking game, and it is. Another thing I did like in this game, which I actually did forget about, is it's connected to the older games. You know, like these days when you get like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Mirage, they're connected, but you don't really feel like they're connected to any of the other games. Shadows, I don't really feel like is connected to any of the other games. Like, there's not even a bit of modern day there. There's a bit of modern day in this, by the way. There's a bit of modern day in this. But it was just like the little subtle things where in the story you go to Edward Kenway's house. I forgot about this. You're walking around Edward Kenway's house looking at all the little Easter eggs, this, that, and the other, and you're like, consider I'm playing this coming off like the announcement of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync. I was very much like, yeah, this is what I needed to play right now. You know, just a little nod to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Probably could have played like another game like Assassin's Creed 3 or something along those lines to have more of appreciation for that game, but you know, there's something here. Oh, and I'm playing this on the PlayStation 5, by the way, which this actually got an update like last year, like Assassin's Creed Unity did, for a 60 FPS, and everyone's going to be shouting at me now, well, you could probably play this at 90 FPS on the PC. Yeah, I mention it on every video, my PC is a piece of crap and I can't really run anything, so you know, this is what I have to deal with. That's Evie's cape, like 20 FPS, I want to say. This game plays nice, but when you have this cape just wandering around the back of you, looking like this, it's a bit of a distraction. But no, this game actually does play pretty well now. I don't feel like the parkour is on the same level as Assassin's Creed Unity is. I don't feel like it's, you know, as free-flowing as that game. It's kind of like, if I played this game, I would think this game came out before Unity. They're very similar in certain ways, but I feel like Unity is a game that built on from Syndicate, even though people are going to be shouting at me, Unity was trash, go and play it now, it's quite good. If they came out now, I feel like Syndicate would be coming before Unity. I think they're developed by different studios though, so that's probably why they play like they do. There's a lot of things in this game, like I said, I do love, and I'm glad I've gone back to this game. I feel like I'm going to keep on playing this game like after I come off this video, but I just wanted to bring a video out because, like I said, when I did this ranking, I gave this a C. And if I'm going to be honest now, I probably wouldn't put it too much higher, but I think this is definitely like a B game. It's definitely not awful. I feel like it's overlooked, and a lot of other Assassin's Creed games are worse than this. If you just want to play this game just to experience its world of London, I feel like this game is easy to go and play now. You can get it for cheap. If you're not too bothered about the story, then don't really do much of that. There's quite a lot of side content to do in this. There's little bits of RPG elements here and there. Like, you could see that they were trying to maybe start something with this, and then obviously Origins and that came out. But I feel like I'm having a good time with this game at the moment, and I can't wait to play a bit more of this. I'm going to go ahead and finish the story again at least, and then I'm going to move on to whatever's next. But yeah, I just wanted to bring out a quick video on my experience with this game at the moment, and I feel like it's an underappreciated game, and I, like I said, probably underappreciated this myself. But if you like this sort of thing, check out this video. You might disagree or you might agree with me. It's a very conflicted video at the moment. And if you like this sort of thing, please do drop me a like and consider pressing that subscribe button, and I'll be back with another video whenever I can bring one out.